welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reflecting on some of the project panning goals I set for myself a year ago. I've seen people do these videos, kind of the update, and I'm really excited to share my update with you. So I have my notes here and some products to share with you. So first I'm going to start by talking about the products that I did in fact finish, and then I will talk about all the other products that I still have with me and talk about kind of what I was able to accomplish with them. So in 2021, I was able to finish 7 of the products that I specifically called out last year. So we'll start with those. So the first one is the Jordana Tawny lip liner. It was a really beautiful kind of brown nude shade, but Jordana is now a long gone company, and this lip liner was in my collection for quite a number of years. So I was very happy to have that one finished up. I finished it in the beginning part of 2021. I also got some good use out of my Bare Minerals liquid lipstick in the shade Boss. It was a fabulous color, fabulous formula, but it was old and it was reaching the point where it was starting to dry out and separate. So I did get a few last uses in it, and then I did declutter it I believe over the summer, but I did get kind of the last hurrah out of it, and that makes me feel like I really loved that product, and I do, and I would definitely consider repurchasing it. That's how much I like it. Another lip product I finished up earlier this year was a traditional bullet lipstick from the Ulta House brand. It was in the shade Nude, and it was an awesome everyday Your Lips But Better type of a shade. So that was easy for me to finish up, but again, it had been in my collection for a while, so it was nice to have that one moved out, so I had room for new lip products. I had the goal to finish up 2 setting sprays throughout this year. One of them was the Wet n Wild Rose setting spray, which honestly didn't offer me any longevity or like extended wear to my makeup. It was more so just kind of bringing that powdery finish down and a little bit of boost of hydration. So I used that more so in the beginning of the year when it was still winter, but it wasn't my favorite. And the other setting spray I finished up was the NYX Bear With Me, which is also not my favorite setting spray. So I was able to use both of those up, and now I have repurchased my favorite, which is the Milani Make It Last. So it was nice to move those out and then justify my purchase of getting my favorite setting spray. And it's nice to be back to my favorite, to be honest. And I don't know that I really need to stray too far away again. The last item I finished this year was a highlighter. So I love the Laura Geller French Vanilla Baked Highlighter, and I did finish it up earlier this year. That formula is kind of similar to an Hourglass powder where it has this kind of like glow from within. It's not super metallic or anything like that, but it just offers a brightness and glow to the face, and it's a beautiful product. It's actually the second one I've finished up. So I finished 2 of those highlighters, and I haven't repurchased because I have other beautiful highlighters, but really, really love that product and think about it sometimes. All right, so let's move into some of the progress that I've been able to make. Last year, I called out my ABH Sultry palette. This is the oldest palette in my collection, and I really just wanted to get more use out of it. So all year, I have had this in my makeup basket. It's a kind of like staple product for me, and I listed out 6 shades that I was hoping to hit pan on or get more use out of, and I hit pan on 5 of those 6, so I'm really proud of that. 2 of which happened within the last week or 2. So the palette now looks like this. It is very much well loved. There are lots of dips. There's lots of pan. I absolutely adore this palette, and I'm really sad it's discontinued. But the shades that I called out were Birch, which is this matte brown. This is one of the ones I just hit pan on, as well as Twig. Twig has like the smallest pan in it. Hopefully you can see that, but this one I just hit pan on like 2 days ago. So I did actually get this one as well. Cinder is this beautiful, like bronzy, cool toned, it's like a weird cool tone bronze, but it's beautiful all over the lid, as well as Teak I have pan in. So it's a little bit of a deeper brown there. I also hit pan in Noir, which is one I called out, which is this black. I use this as an eyeliner. So those are the 5 shades that I called out specifically, but I also was able to hit pan in Steampunk, which is this like antiqued gold, as well as Dystopian, which is the chocolate brown. So I'm very, very thrilled with the amount of progress I've been able to make this year. This is one of the oldest palettes in my collection. I've had it for 4 years now, and I personally have like expirations I live by. So I will not hold on to powder products more than 5 years, which means next year is my last year with it. But the amount of progress I made this year makes me think that I definitely can make even more significant progress next year on this palette. So yeah, stay tuned, but this is definitely well loved, and I'm so happy I spent like time focusing on it this year because I loved it even more after I got to use it month after month. Another product that I've been focusing on and I had in my project pan is this NYX lip liner. Similarly to the personal expirations, any non-powder products I won't keep more than 3 years. So this is the third year, 2021, that I've had it. So I just wanted to get more use out of it, and it's a perfect nude lip liner. I've learned throughout the year that I only really need a nude lip liner. Any other color of lip liner, I just don't feel like I don't need it. I don't know. Like, I have red lipsticks and I can use this as a lip liner and then red on top, and it worked just fine for me. So that's been very eye-opening for me to realize that I probably only need like one lip liner a year. And that's obviously a lot more cost effective, but it's interesting because I used to hoard like all these liners, eyeliners, and lip liners, and now I'm realizing I don't have a need for either of them. I had a couple of specific lip sticks that in my collection. Again, these are coming up on the 3 years, so they will be leaving me soon. But this Bite Chai lipstick is a very pretty like berry cranberry shade, and this is one that, because it's a little bit deeper, it's not on My Lips But Better, I overlook. So I did put some effort into wearing this one more this year, as well as this Flower Beauty lipstick in the shade Cinnamon Crush. Both of these were in my project pan. Again, this is a shade that I don't typically reach for every day. It's beautiful, and I grew to love it even more as I used it. But I am glad that I put this goal out there because they kind of haunted me until I finally put these in my project pan to get more use out of them. And I'm happy to say I have. I don't know that I would repurchase either of these, but I do specifically like a berry that I've learned. And this was nice for fall. It just might maybe like a different tone for next fall. So we'll see when we get there. But I did get use out of these. I just didn't finish them. I wasn't expecting to finish them either. I did want to finish this lip gloss, and I haven't yet. This is the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. Now, it's a little bit shaken up, but I would say I'm about to the letter U on the packaging here, which I'm sure is hard to see. So it's about here at the top of my nail there. So there is a decent amount of product left in here, but I love this formula. I love the color. I love the shimmer in it. It's been really fun to use. So I didn't quite finish it up, but I definitely got more use out of it. And I ended up purchasing another shade from this line from the Sephora VIP sale because I love the formula that much. So hopefully I'll finish this one next year. Didn't quite get it finished this year, but I did definitely love on it. I've got a bronzer here I was wanting to focus on. So this is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer, and I did get a decent amount of wear out of this at the beginning of the year. This is what it currently looks like. So I do have pan on it. But the second half of the year, I really focused on my Hourglass bronzer. So that one now has pan on it, which is awesome because it didn't have pan at the beginning of the year. But this one definitely took a little bit more of a backseat. So I probably will shift my attention back onto this bronzer for a little bit in the upcoming year because I would love to see this one eventually like worked out of my collection. It's an okay bronzer, but there's other ones I want to try. And I'm just realizing now that this has probably been with me for a couple of years. I'll have to check when I bought it on my spreadsheet, but yeah, it's just kind of time to get this one rolling out. The last two products are both eye products. So one is the Milani Eyeshadow Primer, which is definitely getting thinner and thinner. I would say I go through one eyeshadow primer about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year, like 14 months, but this is one that I really, really enjoy. I definitely will repurchase this Milani, primer itself. It's really great. And I would say like after pressing this down, I'm probably at the top of the word eyeshadow here from Eyeshadow Primer. So I have used, a significant amount of this, but this is again, kind of like a utility product to me that I just use one every day, kind of like the lip liner. Like I just don't need multiple eye primers. For a while, I thought I needed like the NYX glitter glue or something of that nature, but I was able to just kind of tap a little bit more of this on my lid and then put down whatever shimmer shade. And I got enough of a metallic or hold that I don't feel like I need a separate primer, if you know what I mean. All right, the last product I have here is an eyeshadow. This is the Ulta Beauty single. I have the shade Pure as Snow, and this is a utility shade for me. I set my eyeshadow primer. I use this as a brow bone highlight. I use this to help blend anything. If it gets like too deep or like weird on the outside of my eye, I can use this. I do have a decent amount of pan in here, so that first ring is showing all the way around now. And I do really enjoy this. I worked on hitting pan on this at the beginning of the year, and then I took a break and I went through all my other palettes and hit pan on all the shades similar to this, like shades that I would use in the same manner. And then I came back to it to finish. So I'm sure if I didn't deviate from this earlier this year and I only use this one, it would be gone. But I'm actually really glad I was able to go through my collection and hit a bunch of pans, because it helped me get into other palettes. And, you know, if I'm in one of my ColourPop palettes to use this one, I might as well grab another shade from in there to incorporate in my eye look. So it did help me get to know my collection and jump around my collection more than if I would have just had this one. So that is my update from my 2021 goals. I will link the video that I did last year where I was going through setting all these goals, and I will have a goal video for my panning, what I plan to pan in 2022, up here shortly. So in the next week or so, you should see that video from me. But I really have enjoyed my project panning year. I also just did my project pan finale for my rolling style project pan. It's been great. You know, I have a smaller collection these days than what I once did, but I'm still enjoying, you know, getting to use my collection and setting goals for myself. Anyway, I'll wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.